इंदौर जाएगी वहाँ।
Request all participants to be on mute.
किसी पास ये है पावर बैंक।
Ashish, shall we start?
Yes, Jatin will start.
Yeah, Ashish, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Great. So, very good evening, friends. Year 2021. And sincere thanks to all of you for joining this webinar. And I wish and I hope you all are keeping healthy and keeping yourself safe. And I hope you are taking care of your all family members well, so that to face this pandemic situation of COVID. This is first time we are introducing this manufacturing event, and the reason for that was mainly that due to this unprecedented situation we are in of this COVID pandemic. Unfortunately, we are not going to have a event, field event, and we are not making vehicles. As a result, students are being, say, kept away from understanding and learning about some practical approaches for manufacturing. Now, this Baha event normally is aimed at all our students should get more practical uh, exposure, and they become more industry ready by doing a lot of mindful learning. As this year we'll be missing this fun of all making a vehicle ourselves and then testing. So we at the organizing committee felt that we should introduce some events such a way that at least we can give students some flavor of what otherwise was missed. So as a result, we introduced even the evaluation event, virtual evaluation event, which is using IPG CarMaker, and I'm sure all of you are preparing for that well, which will simulate the various events such as with a braking test or acceleration test, maneuverability, durability, and all. So this will give you at least one flavor of what parameters do affect the vehicle dynamics and how do you. So I'm sure you'll be able to learn a lot from that. Similarly, we thought of introducing this manufacturing event wherein we like our students to visualize in detail that how actually the vehicle will be manufactured and assembled and tested. So the whole event of manufacturing is planned with this intent that we give a good flavor to the students. Now, while doing so, it may be difficult to give the complete, say, virtual manufacturing event. So this year we are restricting it to just one sub-assembly or detailed manufacturing evaluations. Anyway, I'll be getting into those details. But most important is the purpose of this event is that students do visualize, try to consult their faculty members and understand how the products are actually made, and that they present it and document it in a nice way. While doing so, we would like to also make student more systematic. So that is the another reason why we wanted to introduce. So though we are being forced by this pandemic to get into this manufacturing event, we saw another benefit of that is the students get exposed to a systematic way of getting into manufacturing, which the automotive world call it as APQP, Advanced Product Quality Planning. So this will give you a flavor of that. So once we are, see, already for the design, we have introduced that in detail, and design reports covers by and large the design aspects of that. However, manufacturing was not yet covered. So this event will give you an idea about how to go about documentation of such manufacturing processes. Can we go to the next slide? So some of this actually I already covered in my so far discussions, that why we introduced this manufacturing event, especially as we will be missing the thing. So now coming to the details, expect all the student participants make report of manufacturing event, which should cover mainly the two major aspects. First is assembly sequence of the complete vehicle. So what we expect here, that students go and list it out, all the different parts in that. We call it as a bill of material. So they make a detailed bill of material for the complete vehicle. I repeat, the complete bill of material for the whole vehicle has to be prepared. See, if you miss some bolts and nuts, that's absolutely okay. So that is fine. But what we are looking at it, all the major aggregates and small parts also we should include in this, so that you get a flavor of how does the vehicle get assembled. Once you have this bill of material, you need to have the sequence of the assembly right. So that is one major aspect of this report. Then second, the important aspect is that how do we make the parts? Now, again, we cannot cover in the report each and every part of the vehicle. So what we felt, that if we cover one sub-assembly, and this time we are introducing front wheel assembly as the requirement for details of manufacturing, wherein for each and every part of the front wheel assembly, you will talk about how the parts are being made, what are the manufacturing processes, what is the sequence of that manufacturing process, what will be the inspection things we will be doing, what are the gauges and tools you will be requiring for that, fixtures you will be requiring for that. Then once the say parts are ready, how will you inspect, what dimensions you should check, what are those critical to quality parameters, all those will be covered for one sub assembly. So just to brief, repeat once again, as regards the bill of material, it will be for the whole vehicle. And with that bill of material, you will be giving the complete sequence of assembly. And as regards the manufacturing process details, the process charts, the TFME and all those will be done for one sub assembly, that is front wheel assembly, for covering say all different parts, whether like upright or hub or rotor, caliper and spindle. And later on, I'm sure Sanjay Nibande has also joined us, so he'll be able to also explain you further in detail. In fact, he's much more expert than me in this field, so he will be giving you much more details on this. Can we go to the next slide? So this slide actually talks about what is the normally we get into once the design is ready. So once the design is ready from the design team, then it is team. Now, in all industry that you go to the engineering team, where manufacturing engineering team will prepare the complete, will take care of this BOM, bill of material, which was prepared by the design team. And then the team, which will also have the persons who are looking at the bought out parts and those who are looking at the in-house manufacturing. They should sit to make wise. That means for example, when we talk about engine, there is no choice. You will be buying it out. That is that part which will be doing. Whereas, say for example, suspension, you have a choice whether you can make the suspension yourself or you want to have a bought out part. Whereas, say cage, the cage, there is no choice, you have to make yourself. So some of the cases you don't have choice, but some cases wherever you have choice, this team, whatever you have, the people who will be doing in-house manufacturing and those who will be buying out, we have to sit down together and decide whether the part should be bought from outside or it should be made in-house. Then whatever the parts you are going to buy from outside, you need to first finalize what will be my supplier selection criteria. How do we decide which supplier I should go to? So critical you need to list down how to decide the supplier. Again, take a case of, say, suppose one particular part you want to buy out, say like brakes, you want to buy out, then which supplier you should go for? And if you are going to go, what are those parameters you will take care of? And that should be listed down. Then for the parts which you are going to make in-house, then you are supposed to make the detailed manufacturing process flowcharts and PFMEA. That is process failure mode effect analysis. So that has to be done. Now in this case, since the whole vehicle taking will take long, we are restricting it to only front wheel assembly. Now from this manufacturing process flow charts, you need to arrive at what are all your critical to quality parameters and safety critical parameters. And once those parameters are identified, those parameters need to be looked at for making gauges and inspections tools. So that from that you will be able to make your inspection report. So how that report should be and what are the parameters you'll be looking at. This is what we'll be looking at more closely, that have you really understood which are the parameters which are critical to quality and which are the parameters which are safety critical. And as you know that for Baha, it is safety is utmost critical. So we will be looking at after that, then the complete gauging and inspection requirements, and then assembly process, sub-assembly process of the parts. And once this is done, when the whole vehicle assembly is done, the whole vehicle assembly, how will you inspect that also you need to specify. That what are all the parameters will you check once the whole vehicle is ready. Just to give you a feel of that, some of you may visit the dealers. They have normally a pre-dispatch inspection list that normally when the vehicle is ready, what are the parameters they will check. All the brakes they will check, all the speedometer it is working, they just check, right? Whether say all controls are working or not, they will check. Whether the engine is running properly or not, check. You will see whether the acceleration is proper or not. So like that, there will be a different vehicle testing parameters. So those parameters is what we are looking at. Yeah, can we go to the next slide, please? So once you prepare this report, I'd like to elaborate a little more on what are the parameters we are looking at from judging point of view. The first and foremost is that how good is the understanding manufacturing process. So when you detail out this front wheel assembly, we'll be able to make out whether the students have understood really well the complete manufacturing process. For example, when you want to make even a shaft, like how are you selecting the raw material? From the raw material size, how are you taking now to the next step? How are you cutting it? Then cutting it to the what sizes? How will you make, say, then the next process chart of like maybe the turning or then grinding and then making splines or whatever it is. So once you have those details, we will be able to know whether the students have really understood the complete manufacturing sequence of what we at is the workflow, organization, and importance. Now, this relates to both assembly as well as the manufacturing process. That are students in a position to plan it out and organize very well all these parameters of manufacturing as well as sub-assembly and assemblies. Then the next important parameter is adequacy of bill of material. So we are looking at, are there any parts which are missed out by the students? So not be missed. If you miss a brake pedal, we go about. So from that point of view, it will be looked at all these parameters, and these reports we're making will be given to the judges in advance, so that they can understand in detail whether students have gone through this process. Then the raw material selection and understanding level of the material. So bill of material will always have the raw material data. So what is the raw material you are checking? And especially for the sub assembly of front wheel, how detailed you are taking the material and the reasoning for selection of those materials. The next is the correctness of make or how, especially how this criteria like why this is selected to buy or why. So all the major parts need to, at least the parts which you are buying out, you need to mention why are you buy out those parts. Then preparation for that sub assembly. So the design, even though the design is the detailed design drawings need to be attached for the parts of front wheel assembly. Then and safety parameters of the judging us. Then inspection report preparation and gauging preparation, how detailed it is being made, parameters covered. Have you rightly identified the gauges and whether it's no-go gauges or the measurement gauge you deciding, how is fixturing, what fixturing you are looking at. So those will be looked at. Then assembly process flow charts, contracts, that will be also one of the judging parameters. I mentioned about fixture jigs. Important thing, the way I look at DFMEA equally DFMEA and or assembly FMEA. So those parameters also will be looked at as one of the judging criteria. Then vehicle level assembly inspection checks. The complete assembly made, what checks will be made? Say for example, once you make whether the wheel is free or not. Apart from that, but how will you check that wheel freeness? Apart from that, there are some other parameters. So we are looking at all those parameters for the complete vehicle also. For whole vehicle, the parameters using working yourself, right? This will be all the judging parameters for looking at. Next slide, please. Ashish, can you next slide?
Yes, sir. The template is
Ashish, can
being
you?
shown.
Yeah, great. So even the
Yes, sir.
yeah. Oh, okay, fine, good. So the slide talks about we are not restricting you to put only these formats. You can use your own formats, it has more details also. I don't think this covers the complete, but it is the bare minimum we're looking at. And the we are expecting more of getting the material details also into this. Then manufacturing operating sheet, that also one sample format is given, but you can look at modifying it, add some more parameters if you deem fit so. the more you're able to visualize, you'll get more confident that you have understood it better. Next slide, please. So by and large, even I think the team has been, all the teams have been given these formats, right, Ashish?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in case you have some questions also, you can ask. And this complete my portion. Now I'll request anyone has got questions, put it in the chat boxes. And before we get on to question answers, I'll request Sanjay Nibande to join. So just before Sanjay joins, actually one thing I forgot to mention about myself, that I didn't introduce myself. So just a brief introduction about myself is that my name is Ravi Kharul, and I'm associated with Baha for last 8-9 years, and it is very close to the heart. So I try not to miss even one single event. I was Baha convener in 2017, and the core committee members here. And as a professional thing, I'm working for Endurance as a president and CTO. And Endurance, you might be knowing that Endurance is one of the leading automotive component manufacturing company, and we make suspensions, brakes, transmission components, and aluminum die casting. Just this is a brief introduction about me. Then I'll hand it over to Mr. Sanjay Nibande, who is a senior deputy director at ARAI, and further he can introduce himself more. Sanjay, over to you.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you very much. My small introduction I would like to give you. I'm working for ARI as a senior deputy director as a part of the STC Chakhand. STC is a homologation and technology center, wherein the certification as well as the research activity happens in ARI. Similarly, I'm connected with vehicle manufacturing for more than past 35 years. And I was basically looking after the all prototype manufacturing process simulation, as well as the basic parts of the component development, aggregate development, vehicle developments. And I had worked with Bajaj Auto, with two-wheelers company, two-wheeler, three-wheeler company, and subsequently with Mahindras for almost 20 years, with all new models developed. And our one of the responsibility was to hand it over to production when it goes for a final version is ready for handing over to production. It should be easily possible for manufacturing at the bulk quantity without any trouble, and that too at the early stage. That is what the objectives which we have to meet. As an engineer, I would say, Ashish, am I audible clearly?
Yes, yes,
Sir, you are
you are
audible.
audible.
Yeah. So as an engineer, I would like to say that engineer without a visualization is never considered. And engineer, those who go to the any shop floor or any processes or any design activity without doing any virtual visualization, he will not be able to generate, design or develop any component. Now, when you develop a component, probably a design level, you may have some design calculations. We may have to find out where the strengths are required, which are the materials to be used. So lots of data inputs which has to go into his brain, and he has to be a very choosy about it, what is to be selected. Now, if I say a small example of giving you the gearbox assembly shaft to be made, and this shaft is only a shaft which holds the various gears on it. Now it may be an input shaft, it may be an output shaft, or it may have the inbuilt gears which have been integrated with the shaft. So there can be multiple ways of designs which can be possible for anybody to design and manufacture. So simple question comes, how it has been actually manufactured, whether it is possible to manufacture. So this is the $1 million question. One need to understand the process part of it. And here the catch is like, without having the knowledge about those machines, without having the knowledge about those processes, the component cannot be manufactured. So designer may visualize one part by looking at the various designs which are available. He can always look at the various components or the various alternative designs which are normally looked at it. But going forward, the manufacturing team, which is largely connected with production activity, Ashish, there are some 7, 8 participants waiting in lobby. Can you clear them? Ashish, just have a look at it. So when we go for a manufacturing part of it, there is a definite need. You have to see that components in details and how the processing. Simple example of the central lathe. When you hold the component, how it is being held, how it has been supported, how the tool can generate the entire thrust for taking out the unwanted materials. And finally, if you have the specific shapes like gear, how it can be manufactured. So without having all those understandings, probably the entire thing may not be a useful as to the intended life or function which can deliver through the component. So looking at those components and what is that my target life which I am looking at it, you may require to do the certain processes to follow with. Like if I give you one name of gear shaping is normally happened. So whether you shape the gear, whether it is sufficient clearances are available for shaping tool to come out of it. Similarly, if the hobbing has been done, what sort of to get it? If the helix angle is there, which sort of tool has to be used for it? Or maybe a worm gear where the profiles are quite different than the other gears. So what sort of things which has to be used? Now taking the examples forward, probably rack and pinion at the steering level is one of the critical example. Without looking at it, you will not be able to really visualize those components. Why I am taking these all specific names is basically to understand the complexity which is involved in the manufacturing purpose. So never underestimate manufacturing. This is the big task of the designer, and you can be a manufacturing expert only when you put in all your efforts into manufacturing side. And this time, Baha being the virtual, entire event is virtual. So we want all of you to undergo the process of manufacturing. So far, so good. Last 13 years, we are very much those manufactured components. Maybe you might have taken it from the next doorstep industry which is available to you. But this time we are not asking you to manufacture something. But this time we are asking you to find it out. What are those manufacturing processes being adopted or being used by the people at various locations? So if you have visited industries, probably you will be able to gauge it properly, or you can make the judgment about it and then get involved into it. If you are not visited, still there is a sufficient time by which you can go to these manufacturers. Even though in pandemic conditions, one person going to industry and requesting for looking at the processes is very much easy for you to manage. And most of the cities within the various locations, probably you will get different types of manufacturers. Simple example, like when you are doing the frame for the Baha vehicle, there has to be some bends. When you do the bending work, probably somebody outsourcing it and getting it done is very, very easy. But that is not the objective of it. When you have a rolling to be done for a bending angle or the impressions of the corner, when it has to be a perfectly bent without having any wrinkle, sort of rolling tool has to be made for it. This is how manufacturing come into picture, and these are the areas where one has to be a very, very optimistic to use the tools, right gauges, right manufacturing practices, which are very important over here. Similarly, case of the welding, if the welding is done with a lot of porosity, so there is no usage of it because the welding strength will be weak, and those metals which are getting connected
Sanjay, we can't hear you. I think Have we lost Sanjay connection? Ashish, can you check, please? Hello.
We are not able to hear him.
Yeah, so I think you have missed him.
Probably network issues.
Just try calling him on phone. We'll wait for a minute. Otherwise, in case we do not get reconnected, then we can request Mr. Presentation will continue with Sanjay as soon as he comes back. I think we are not getting the connection of Mr. Sanjay Nibande. So meanwhile, I'll request Mr. Vinay Mundada to address the gathering. Mundada sir, can you please connect? Mundada sir, we can't hear you.
Sir, Mundra sir is having issues while to connect the audio. So we'll start with the Q&A, and once Nibandha sir comes, we'll start the discussion again.
No, just a minute. Whether let's see whether Nibande has joined. I'm seeing some. Hello, Sanjay, are you there? Yeah, I think he's there. Sanjay. Hello. I'm seeing Sanjay connected now.
Yes, sir, it is connected, but probably low on bandwidth to connect the audio or video.
Okay, so by the time we get Mr. Sanjay Bande reconnected, we can go ahead with some question and answer. So Ashish, you can collect the questions from the chat box and then raise the questions. Ashish?
Sir, there is a question and answers. Okay, Nibandha sir, I joined back.
Sanjay, are you there? You need to unmute yourself. Unmute. Unmute. I think it needs to be unmuted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sanjay, go ahead.
Yeah, coming back to the manufacturing process, I was discussing about the welding quality. And when welding quality is looked at it, generally people who does the welding, they know if the welding is porous, probably you will not get the adequate strength because the materials which are joined with addition of fillers will not have the adequate strength. And in such cases, how to check the welding is more important part of it. Similarly, when you go for the wheels and hubs, so when you take the complete assembly of suspension and front wheel, you may have to identify the critical components, how they are fixed with each others. The sub-assemblies which goes into it, you need to visualize and find it out how the mounting arrangement of different components get into it. So level may have two levels or three levels which you can make it according to your requirement. The first part is your complete vehicle. From one level down, when you talk about the front suspension part, which are the parts connected with the front suspension, we have to find it out. Subsequently, go for the upright mounting.
Okay, go ahead.
The hardware required for upright mounting has to be find out. Then go for the wheels, knuckles, hubs, how the tires are mounted, which are the perimeters which has to be tightened for mounting the hub properly. And within the hub, when you say the if the oil seals are there, if the bearings are there, the shafts are there, how it is being connected to each other, so that the positioning of each and every component is properly fitted there. So what are the sizes which you have to achieve by ways of manufacturing? Like if it is a CNC turning, the size accuracy which you have to maintain for a fitment of bearing, for a fitment of oil seal, for fitment of the shaft, and when it is cleared for this clear rotational part, whether the adequate clearances has been given, proper entry angles has been given, all those small aspects which you have to capture in totality. So what I mean to say, when you design one components, you need to find it out which are the process suitable for manufacturing to it. So you can write down the name of the machines, you can write down the tools which can be used for it, and subsequently which are the critical parameters for quality requirement, like where the bearing is getting fitted, or where the oil seals are getting fitted, where the shaft entries are important, or when the tightening happens, whether the circlips have been provided, or any type of nut with proper flanging arrangement has been given, or you are going to put some star nuts for it. Complete arrangement, how it will retain in the position for the desired effect to be taken out. Similarly, you are also designing 4 by 4 mechanism. So don't forget that 4 by 4 mechanism, out of it, how the drive will be established, either to front wheel from the rear end if the engine is mounted at the back, or the engine is mounted in the front. How do you drive it to the directly to the front wheels, and similarly give drives at the back end. So based on your complete layout, we are going to evaluate you how the design and assembly sequences you are going to define it. And this is the first time challenge which has been put forward to you to understand complete manufacturing scenario. This is going to make you a lot of difference, because till now you are getting it done it from outside people. We know for sure that half of the teams used to, but half of the teams used to do very sincerely, including, I know for some of the teams which I don't want to mention the names because you may not feel offended about it, but I'm sure that some of the teams design the brake calipers, they design the brake shoes, they design the wheel hub, they design the knuckle, they do the CNC machining, but they always offload it to the outsiders. Now, this challenge is put forward to you to find it out how the manufacturing guy works for it, whether the casting has been made, whether the raw material is taken from the bar or billet size, and how do you machine it completely. So all those processes you need to capture, because the input starts from the first end. What is the selection of the material? What size of material which you have selected? How that billet form is, whether it is a bar form or the square plate or the rectangular plate, which you are going to use it out of it. And based on manufacturing sequence is required to get the desired size and shape of the component. Now, this challenge will be compared with your the report which you submit to the BAOC, and based on that, each and every parameter will be looked at it. I know for sure this is not a simple task, but it is not a very difficult as well. If you have, as an engineer, if you have a good practice of observing those things, probably you can do it very easily. If you start asking to somebody, probably they will not answer you. So more important is observations, and the right practices to be captured is important over here. If you take it up this as a challenge part of it, probably everybody will be able to do it very nicely. But if you try to copy paste from one another, we are going to give you 0 marks wherever the copy paste is to be being observed. So don't try to help each others within the teams or outside the teams, and make sure that everybody scores a 0 for all such. Uh, I would say that this type of unexpected results is never being planned for it. So you don't promote that kind of a strategy. You try to do it, even though some mistakes are there. We are happy to learn. We are happy to make you learn about it, and we will be helping you for all such matters. But manufacturing is not a simple task because based on your designs, somebody has to do it as a practical part of it. Keeping those constraints, keeping those understandings, some DFMA process I would like to explain to you. Like when you do the designing work, you may have to find out which are the failures which may occur. Similarly, in case of the manufacturing processes, the same example of the gearbox, the shaft design is likely to get bent because of the rotational or torsional loads which comes on the shaft. So what is that shaft load which will come into the picture? If the sharp edges remains there or the corners which has not been properly machined, so what is likely to happen? So such cases of PFMA has to be find out. This is process related parameters which has to be taken into consideration as a failure mode. And in such failure modes, probably you may have to identify those areas which are the weaker in section, which may require strengthening of it, which may require some modifications into it based on the designer who has designed the first part of it. So any inputs goes to the designer is known as a process related inputs, and that is being captured as a failure mode analysis in the process form of it. So when you are trying won't happen. Sometimes it is always seen that the bearing which has to be rest, it is not getting rested. So floating happens in case of the bearing, and then you will not be able to tighten it properly. Sometimes it goes continuously tightening it up because there is no resting collar has been provided for such matters. So all areas which has to have a clear imagination, and this is what the engineering industry people does in the actual practical life. So try to incorporate all those practices, which is more important for those assembly sequences and actual when you go for the assembly part of it, it is very, very relevant for entire understanding level. So we would like to gauge you on those judgments, those decisions which you are trying to take it up, and we would definitely like to find it out what is the reason why you have chosen these parameters. We will not be asking you questions, but those questions are mainly to understand what is that selection criteria which you have chosen for a design to see that it is a manufacturable for it. It is assembly, design for manufacturing is relevant over here, and that's how we look at it as a challenge part of it. So lots of thought processes are required. So maybe within the team you may identify 4 or 5 guys who can discuss, deliberate, do brainstorming, find it out whether it is right or wrong sequence, what may go wrong, you may have to find it out, and then try to fulfill those components which have been asked for. And that's the reason why we have selected only one area as the front wheel portion. So if you are going to do that, a complete front wheel assembly proportion, please ensure that all connected parts, including mounting on the vehicle, to be captured. So here the 4-5 component you, but never forget that if your design is for 4x4, you must ensure that drives has to be established for 4x4 design as well. Similarly, mounting, turning rotations, or steering when it is applied, what sort of forces comes out to it. So what is that adequacy of the design has to be find it out. So try to showcase each and every parameters in that perspective. And by and large, as we know, the manufacturing processes are equally important. We need to properly understand and judge it so that when you go to industry, it is going to help you in a big way. With this note, I would like to stop it here, but definitely Mundara sir will be also able to give you some views about the entire manufacturing processes, why we are looking at it, and then we may go for the question answer sessions. So, right, with this, all the best to all of you, and I'll stop it from my opportunity available to you for answering those or even guide you in future as well. Over to you, Mundra sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very well, sir.
Yes, yes, very much.
Okay, so there has been a big problem with the internet and the connectivity, and sorry that I was sometimes getting in and getting out. Okay, so good evening, all the students. I am Vinay Mundra. I have been associated with the Baha for the last 13 years now, since inception. So, as already covered very much by Ravi and Sanjay, I am sure that most of the things regarding this manufacturing event are very clear to you. But I would like to only emphasize on 2-3 things that, since we are having a virtual event, as it has been already said, we are replacing this your entire prototype making, which you normally do for the physical event, by this manufacturing event which we are doing it. So partially it replaces your actual physical manufacturing into this virtual manufacturing. So in the 3-4 slides which have been already shown by Ravi, most important thing, once again, I would like to recapture that we need to have, there will be a technical part list for the entire vehicle, because the entire vehicle needs to be really designed by you. So you will have a full technical part list, which will be converted into bill of materials, which will go to the right up to the raw material level. And this is what is used for the as a manufacturing input. So this needs to be captured, and you will have the vehicle and its sub-assembly at sub-assembly levels. You may have, for example, a transmission assembly or a roll cage assembly or suspension assembly, brake unit assembly, which will go into then sub-assembly and the child parts for that. So this is how you must structure your technical part list and bill of materials, so that you will not tend to forget any of the components which are required for the entire vehicle assembly. So these will consist of all the quantities and all that, and plus also wherever necessary you will have the weight data also. So this will capture the entire vehicle as designed. So this is one thing which you need to do it. And the other one was what is going to be manufactured by you and what is going to be bought out. And if it is bought out, what were your selection criterion? For example, take bolts and nuts, which are standard components. So that would be the reason that, you would make hardware as always a bought out part. For example, take an oil seal, that will be bought out. Bearing will be bought out. And then how you have gone about the selection of the supplier and what you would look for, this is something which needs to be captured. And when it comes to the manufacturing, the assembly of the vehicle, you will need to provide a complete assembly sequence along with the checks on the production line. So this is what you will have to do for the entire assembly sequence and the checks for the vehicle as it passes through the manufacturing line. So this is what you would do. And then finally coming down to now, as it has been spelled out, that the front wheel assembly is the component which you are looking at it from the detailed manufacturing point of view. So you will have a bill of materials and the technical part list and bill of materials for this front wheel assembly, and all the components which are required for in the front wheel assembly. You will have a manufacturing plan for it, and it will comprise right from raw material to the machining to the gauging and all kinds of machine tools which will be used and which it will pass through. Take for example the steering knuckle or the upright. If this component is the one which is, for example, manufactured out of a complete full bar stock or a material plate and then goes out, then you would say so that this is what is my manufacturing process, which may probably not be very economical for the 4,000 vehicles per year. What is your target? So you need to specify the manufacturing or select the manufacturing based on the 4,000 vehicles per year production. And probably you may say that, okay, I may even fabricate it, for example, to save on the material cost rather than wasting that material. Or you may say that I may go for a steel casting, for example. So whatever you decide, that you need to specify that this is what it would be, that would be its approximate weight as the input raw material, and then you will have all the machining operations. In machining operations, you need to sequence the operations very properly. Where are you going to hold it? Which is going to the first operation, second operation, third operation, and the front wheel assembly which has been selected, it will encompass most of the manufacturing processes. And that is how probably Ravi and Sanjay have selected this particular component for detailed manufacturing plan. So you need to specify what machine tool and what is the process, what is the gauging, what is likely to be the time also that can be captured, machining time, whether it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever, based on that. So this detailing is necessary. Once you have gone through this drill, you would really appreciate that, you understand quite a bit how a component is finally regularly manufactured by the OEMs. So we want you to have this knowledge, and that is why this would be very, very beneficial to you. If you may refer to, for example, as it was said by Sanjay, that you can visit the workshops or the OEMs or wherever and look at these operations, you will get some data. And wherever the data is not available, you have always the possibility of going back to the textbooks, manufacturing textbooks, where you will find it. Even for the various handbooks are available where the detailed operations are given. You can also take help of your faculty advisors, who will in turn tell you how to go about the entire. But you need to study it fully, and the questions which will be asked to you during the event would be on all these: that why did you select, how did you select, what are the likely problems which are which will get encountered, and all that. So you need to be prepared. Unless you get fully involved into it, you will not be in a position to answer those questions. So cut test will not work. I don't know whether front wheel assembly is one single component. Probably Sanjay and Ravi may say, which is to be done by all the teams, means all 200 teams would do the same thing, or it is going to be different. So they will take a call on it. But then it should not be that it's repetitive, same thing being done by every team. Every team needs to come out with novel ideas and different ideas, so that we are in a position to properly assess your understanding what it is. Even if it is wrong, but if you are trying out something different and method which can improve, reduce the cost, improve the productivity, give higher accuracy, give better quality, all that is something what we are looking for. So I think probably you can detail all these things. The drawings are required for these components as designed by you. It should contain all the tolerances what are necessary. If there is a heat treatment process, it must incorporate that. What kind of heat treatment process, all that listing has to be done also by you. So this is the complete detailed manufacturing which you will have to put out in the report. And probably I do not know whether there is any number of slides which is decided during the manufacturing event presentation, but I believe that it will not exceed 10 or 12 slides, in which you need to capture most of the data, apart from the some 4 or 5 which would be probably the engineering drawing for the components. But since you need to go through the entire manufacturing sequences and all that, you will need total 10 to 15 slides, and probably you will get some information from the BAHA Secretariat about the number of the slides which we are expecting during the presentation at the static event for this manufacturing purposes. So I think I just tried to add on to whatever Ravi and Sanjay have said. And if you have any further questions, probably you can put it in the question or the chat box, which we will answer either now or later, depending on the time availability. Do ask questions, get clarified everything what you want, so that you really put out your best in the manufacturing report what you will submit. And also you would be prepared fully for the questions which are likely to be asked. Thank you so much. All the best to you.
So in question and answers section, we have almost around many questions. Out of them, one question I'm looking at it is, can you please explain the CTQ tree briefly? That is one probably repeated question.
Hello.
Were you able to hear me, sir?
Yeah, so you said CTQ and what next you said?
Participants are asking about template for CTQ tree or how it is they want to know briefly.
Yeah, so we have not made a specific template for that. What participants need to do is that they can identify what are those critical quality parameters and safety parameters, and so simple format can be like serial number and then what is the part for which they are making this. In that part, what parameters they are looking at, what is the reason for the criticality of that component, and what is the parameter value, what they are looking at with certain tolerances or the limits. Maybe if Sanjay or Bhagat sir, if you want to add anything.
Yeah, while discussing, I have already briefed you about the critical requirements. There will be some of the parameters from your component drawing. You may have to identify as the bearing fitting diameters or the housing location diameters, distances for arresting it at the against the circlip or maybe tightening torque, which has to be defined for it. So those critical parameters you may have to identify from the component drawing, and from based on the drawing probably how are you going to measure it, which are the critical tools which you have to use it, like when you do the inspection quality gauges are available for such measures, or you are going to make the general tools like a micrometers or the bore gauge diameters which can be used for requirements is to be defined. Similarly, the plug gauges for the manufacturing of production in mass quantity or batch quantity is generally made available. So, if any such bore gauges or the plug gauges which are being made, so you may have to identify those as a critical requirement. There are certain safety components, safety parameters. Safety parameters are specifically identified as a safety requirement, being the fitments may not happen, being the turning circles may be requiring certain clearances, or when you are giving very specific requirements like it has to match with the heat treatment of certain diameters or certain areas. Like those areas, I don't know whether you are aware about some induction heating processes or localized heating portions, or if you have chosen such type of the case steps is required for such specific components where the rotational happens is likely to be happen is more in such cases. So those safety parameters and critical parameters to be listed down on your drawing itself, and based on that drawing, you can translate it into the check sheet. How it is, which are the process parameters to be modified, which are the process parameters to be selected for it. If there is a requirement of the stringent tolerance, like you have to maintain it within 10 microns to 25 microns. So how are you going to do that 10 microns to 25 microns on the basic size? And which process you may define, probably grinding has been selected for it. So what is that grinding finish is to be measured, whether it is RA values to be measured, or the diameter which you measure with the proper micrometer. So what is that tolerance which in this count you have to use it? That is to be considered as a critical parameters. With this note, probably you may get one idea, but once on it, and if we feel appropriate that we can pass on some information to you, we will definitely review that, and maybe one of the example which we can put it forward to you, so that you can refer it and take it forward for the level of understanding. So at this junction, we leave it to your imagination part, leave it to your engineering judgment part, and also ask you to prepare a list by which how you are going to do that. When the drawing demands for it, what is the process to be followed for it, and what is the gauges which you are going to use it, that should be listed in maybe in the row wise lines, and 2 3 columns for it, the tools which is to be used for manufacturing, process to be selected for manufacturing, then which are the parameters to be covered under the measurement part of it, and finally how you are going to adhere to the required standards is more important over there. There are some IS numbers, but I don't think at this point of time for you referring to those IS numbers is very relevant over here. But try and see that how is being critically processed is being followed over here. So we will leave you one of the good example of safety parameters and critical parameters like that. Next question.
San- Sanjay, are you speaking?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, yes,
No.
sir, you're audible. I am taking on the next question. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I would like to add something to what Sanjay said.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, critical dimensions, for example, which are critical to the quality, which are very highly tolerated dimensions, which are on account of, let's say, bearing fitment, for example, on the ID, on the OD, or oil seal fitment. These are the kinds of things which are very, very critical to quality. And in a quality plan which will be made by the team, these are the ones which have to be captured, and how it is going to be controlled and how it is going to be checked. This is what is to be written. And you may have a method for the prototype separately, but there will be another method when you are doing the on the basis of, let's say, 4,000 vehicles per year. So that is what you should know, rather than just simply knowing that we are doing by a micrometer or 1 year, but the gauging and all kinds of the snap gauges and whatnot, bore gauges what you will use. These are the ones which you should be aware of, and those are the ones which should get listed in the quality plan by the checking method and all that. So this is what will have to be done in the quality plans. Are these critical to quality components which are necessary, and this is what you will have to capture in your CTQ. And similarly, there is a process plan and there is a quality plan. Process plan gives the sequences of the events of processing, and quality plans will indicate the CTQ parameters which are there. So I'm sure that you will be in a position to list this down and present it in your report. Thank you.
Yeah, next question, please.
Yes. Amit, would you like to take the questions or should I continue?
Amit, afterwards you can contact me to get the template released for the students' benefit, so that one of the examples which we can capture it and then they can produce for CTQ.
Okay, I think he's not able to unmute. In the chat box, there are some questions. The part we decide to make, we have to show any CAD analysis.
No CAD analysis is required because you have a design which is covered under design report.
Okay.
What you have got is a CAD drawing for the component which captures all the data for that component in respect of dimensions and tolerances. This is all what you need to produce there. Nothing else is required.
Okay.
In certain areas, additional tolerances are important. Like when you have fitment with respect to the other locations, then how do you measure that center distances is also one of the probably some relation gauge, or maybe some areas where you may have to have relations established for all such requirements is one of the things which has to be come under the considerations. But as rightly pointed out, the CAD analysis is not at all required. Process drawings.
Next question, please.
What does manufacturing guideline indicate while talking about the aligning process?
So they wanted to
Manufacturing is the vast area, and allied processes are connected with all sorts of manufacturing internally. We looked at it as a forging, casting, or even fabrication, or even making it for one of one component, for one of maybe batch quantity component. So you may have to creatively choose a process which is suitable for your 4,000 quantity per annum to be manufactured. So all that process designing is not done on one-off basis. So you may have to identify the processes which are suitable for making 4,000 components in a year. That means you are trying to schedule it, you are trying to give a batch quantity, and you are trying to produce it in a one go, maybe a 20, 50, 100 vehicles in one go. When you say so, that when you consistently do for multiple components, which are the relevant areas which have to be followed for a batch quantity. Probably you may use the jigs for such matters wherever the drilling is required. So when you manufacture a jig, probably it is a tool room area where which can really give you a proper understanding to locate, clamp the component, which will not deform simultaneously, proper center distancing, and the bushes which help you to have the pilot hole, then go for the next bush with the size hole. Accordingly, you can go for the reaming wherever it is required as well. So, adhering to those processes, you may have to find out and choose the right. So, any engineer who is working on process designing will be able to learn it. And here I again say that observations are very critical for all people, because without observations, you may not be able to completely imagine it. And that's how sequential processes which have to be followed is very important. And that is how the allied processes which we have to take into consideration. So, which may be a initially you may go for a welding fixtures, you may have to have the components cut level or pipe level, then you connect it with each other with the proper bracing, proper fixturing, proper maybe a part of the supports which you may have to design for it, and then proper clamping will help you to retain the position. Similarly, when you fix the size for the bushing part of it, suppose linkage has required a finish size of certainly 20 with H7 tolerance. In such cases, how do you achieve that L7 H7 tolerance is also looked at it, and then you may have to select the process of drilling, maybe initial drilling of certain size, then you go for the higher size of drilling, mid size, then you come closer to something like zero point 0.5 less size of finally go to the reaming finish. Reamer is one of the tool which is normally used for giving you the higher size of the accuracy of the bore diameter. So such tools, when you apply for it, what are the process parameters are required? Do the reaming, probably the feed and speed which has to be selected is also significant over here, and such significant parameters are important. That is how I'm trying to give you one elaboration of the example. So likewise, when what are the tolerances has been defined, based on that you have to select the processes in detail and make a listing of all those sequences in your process application. So when you prepare, you please focus on it so that you have a complete what is to be followed. Probably it may go wrong also. Don't worry about that part. We would like to see what you have captured. We are not saying so that whether it is right or wrong, but basically whether you have focus on proper is most important. And as I told you again, the copy paste is not being considered over here. So which will attract a penalty for everybody. So go for it with proper understanding, proper observation, and try to capture the sequences of operations in a such a way that you go for all sorts of manufacturing processes which are available. So I don't know at this point of time how many workshop practices you have been done, considering the mechanical engineering part. Earlier, workshop engineering was one of the important tools, and people used to refer it for all those purposes. So if you required a quick check, probably use those standard books of the workshop engineering. If somebody wants, those books are still with us even after the 35 years of experience. We still retain those books for a reference purpose with us. So this is the way we learned out of it, and we also expect that you quick inputs and uh, documents which are required for that matter.
Yeah, can we have next question?
Yes, sir. So we are getting many questions regarding what is control chart.
Control chart is a simple part. How to achieve those requirements? Like design gives you some specific tolerances, specific center distances. How you control it to manufacture it? If you start doing it with the testbed part of it, probably you will not be able to do the controlling, and that is the reason what are that control jigs to be manufactured, fixtures to be manufactured, then processes in sequence which will help us to achieve you the center distances of two coordinates, how it is to be done. So those control charts is capturing of those understanding. Try and see those components, how people do it. Probably in your own college workshops, if you see the components which you made it, you can identify those control charts very easily. And control charts is nothing but the sequence of processes. And finally, how do you ensure that the required design tolerances and critical parameters can be made. So that is what called as a control chart. All that comes under the quality planning.
Thank you, sir, for your answer. The next question is, do we have to list down the manufacturing processes for the components we are buying?
No, it is said very clearly. The example which have been asked is only related to your suspension related parts and suspension related, sorry, this front wheel area parts. So you have to design the processes for only one set of component, which is either front and rear, front LH and RH, but all wheel hubs mounting, including your tire mounting, including your knuckle mounting, including your hub mounting, including your mounting, all those things have to get connected to or attached to vehicle is important over here. We are not asking any other areas or the parameters or components which are trying to get it from the outsourced parts. But this example is being captured to have the uniformity for all of you to understand what is being planned for.
Thank you, sir, for your answer. The next question is, in manufacturing operation sheet template, do we have to mention the machine tool which has been used?
Yes, which is the machine tool which you will select for it. You must mention it in the machine tool area, and even sometimes you can do the specific inputs like reamer is being used for the boring operation, or the fine boring tool is used for such operations. That must be mentioned about it.
Okay, so we'll take two, three more questions before concluding the webinar. So the next question is, what data should we take for control chart?
We already talked about it.
Yes, sir. Bill of materials of whole vehicle or just wheel assembly?
Complete
Even this
vehicle.
Whole vehicle, whole vehicle.
Vehicle is required. Without that, you will not understand how many parts, how many loose parts are integrated. Then you make the sub assembly of one, then you go for the aggregate level assembly, then you go for the complete vehicle assembly. So bill of material is basically a major parts considered as one vehicle. Then there can be a 8 or 10 groups by which you can go by sequentially, and one by one you start measuring it. So when you see the drawing, you will see all those components, how it is manufactured, how it is clubbed with, and then sub-assembly sequences, and then finally you go to the level of the component which is considered as the aggregate part of it. Which independently, if you ask me, the transmission is one aggregate and which is attached to engine. So related to engine, where it gets coupled with, how it is getting connected with, how it is the mounting is being done, which are the hardware required to couple the transmission to engine. Then subsequently where it will rest, how it will be mounted, and how the alignment of transmission will remain in the steady position. So all those things are important over here, and that's how you may have to work it out the proper plan for all such matters. That is what it is expected out of it.
See, one more thing I like to add there, that when you are making full vehicle BOM, each individual parts, one column you can add for what is the next assembly, so that it will link it, and then you can really form your own tree for the complete vehicle assembly. So each part should show what is its next assembly.
Yeah, Ravi, as I said, they need to go from assembly to sub-assembly to the child part level.
Correct.
So
Yes.
that everything gets covered. And bill of material has got several usages. One is, of course, in our manufacturing event also we are asking for it. Design report also asks for it. Cost report also asks for
Costing.
it. So they have to necessarily
Exactly.
go through this bill of material.
Yes,
It's
quite
necessary.
true.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
cannot be, just for one assembly. It is for entire vehicle, and it must be done very rigorously and very properly.
Quite true. Next question.
Next question is, flowchart has to be made for the only front wheel assembly or for all the system of the vehicle?
No, only for flow chart has to be done only for front wheel assembly for manufacturing flow.
Next question is, sir, the make or buy list would be for the complete assembly or only for the front wheel assembly?
Make or buy list for whole vehicle.
Front wheel assembly, do the purchase parts manufacturing process to be also mentioned?
Can you repeat?
The front wheel assembly, do the purchase parts manufacturing process to be also mentioned?
Yes. Very much you have to mention in detail what is the manufacturing process.
No,
I
for
already
example,
Sanjay has explained in detail.
in the front wheel assembly, for example, there is bearing. For the bearing, you need not mention the manufacturing process.
No,
Oil
that
seal
is
or bearing.
it's a bought out item. It's a bought out
Bought out
item, so
item,
not
you don't have
required.
to.
Which they will fabricate in-house, you have to mention.
Okay. So this is the last question which we have got. Teams are confused regarding what all things they should be adding for four-wheel drive vehicle or for the normal two-wheel drive vehicle. Two-wheel drive vehicle. Should they also include the suspension arm?
Sanjay, would you like to take?
Just repeat the questions to understand it properly.
The teams are having query regarding the front wheel assembly for a four-wheel drive vehicle or a two-wheel drive vehicle. They have a query that whether they should be adding the suspension arms or not.
Yes, it is a part of it. That's what I told repeated time. How it is getting connected with the vehicle should be definitely considered into it. In that the only hub and knuckle is to be shown. So I again said in the category of the slide number 3, there have been listed about 4 or 5 components: upright, hub, rotor, caliper, and spindle. These are the primitively the indicative part of it. But if there are linkage parts, if there is a mounting, all those things, the complete wheel assembly which gets connected to the vehicle in left side as well as right side, including your steering gear, including your 4x4 mechanism, need to be captured in this. If you eliminate that, you will lose your marks. But if you rightly capture the entire system as a wholehearted work which is being done for such activity, please include both the components, including your linkages connected with steering, linkage 4x4 mechanism and how the drive can be established. I'm repeating it for the third time. Please make a note about it. If you are designing the vehicle for 4x4 mechanism, it is essentially required in that case. And there is some grace mark. If I'm not mistaken, Mundra sir, you can clarify. 4x4 mechanism establishment in the design performa will have some additional mark. Am I right, sir? Mundra sir?
So 4x4 has this grace mark. You'll get the additional bonus marks for the 4x4. That is one. And when we say front wheel assembly, whether it is left, right, or whatever, you need to include whatever gets attached right from the roll cage, which means the upper arm, lower arm, or if you have a linkage mechanism for the suspension, that also needs to get included into the front wheel assembly. So thus it will encompass all kinds of the manufacturing processes, right from welding to machining, whether it is milling, grinding, turning, all operations will come in this and all will get covered. And that is what our intention is, that you should learn about all the manufacturing processes, and these will be covered in the entire things, right from the arms to the wheel mounting, wheel rim mounting, up to that. So you need to cover everything and you should not skip any component in that corner unit, finally, total corner unit, as it goes on to the roll cage.
The next question is, are we supposed to present the manufacturing report for 4,000 units or single unit of a vehicle?
4,000 units, because that is the brief given in our basic rule book. And you need to understand more about these 4,000 vehicles manufacturing per year, and not for a single vehicle where you may use all kinds of odd methods for prototyping. That is something which you can follow separately when you are making the physical prototype. But when you are going to do the cost report, for example, also it's all, everything is on the basis of 4,000 vehicles per year. And you need to have all your manufacturing plans on this basis only, and not for single prototype.
Maybe we can take the last question and close it now.
And the balance question we should answer separately by mails.
Yes, sir. So the last question is, do we have a rear wheel drive, so we have to mention about it rather than front wheel assembly.
Can you repeat?
Not clear. So the query is not written properly. So I think their query is, they have a four-wheel drive vehicle, so they'll be having the driving shaft on the front wheel assembly. So whether that should be added or not. So this has been already answered by Ravi sir, Nibandha sir, and Mundra sir, that all the parts from your roll cage to your tire, everything should be added in your report.
Ravi, I think, can we give them a choice, front wheel assembly or rear wheel assembly, anyone, or you want to?
Yeah, that is okay.
No, sir, we have given all choice.
We have given front wheel, no?
Okay, so whatever, I was just
behind it that if even the teams has done only 4x2 design, they can, but those who design 4x4 mechanism, they will get a grace mark only because of that, how they establish the connection. And that is the added advantage is going to get it. This time they can be prepared with their design. Next time they can manufacture it, because the 4x4 in an international requirement has been made not as a mandatory for this year even, but it is optional part, but people are selecting for it and people are going for a 4x4 design, because those teams who are repeatedly participating in Baha, they need to capture something additionally, and that is the reason 4x4 mechanism has been incorporated into it, and we expect at least 25% of the team who can come with proposal of designing 4x4 mechanism. So those who have designed 4x4 mechanism will be entitled to get the grace marks even in manufacturing facility, because they have showcased the component coverage in that line. But if your design is not 4x4, then probably you just leave it aside. You may lose some marks out of it.
Okay. So, sir, the last question is the teams are asking that can they extend the report by more than 25 pages?
Yes, this report will definitely not containing 25 pages. Report may go on because this manufacturing process probably it runs into 3 or 4 pages. It is okay. So set of documents which has been asked for it more important. The number of documents which you have asked for it that you can review critically, but number of pages restrictions is not there. But I don't expect that report should go for something like 2000 pages because the bill of material, when you consider for it, so aggregate level, you should be prepared and keep it ready for the under the inspection report when it is being evaluated.
So we'll conclude the session here, sir. So if any team is having any additional queries, they can post it on Bias India forum, and we'll be reverting back with the answer within a couple of days. And it is a sincere request from Baha organizing side that we request the teams to kindly go through the guidelines, because there were some questions which were clearly mentioned in the guidelines.
So again, I will repeat for the day. Reading through all the guidelines repeatedly is important. Third thing is your observations. Fourth thing is your imagination. And fifth thing is not to copy. So these 5 elements, if you follow, you can score good marks. But if you do anything in mischievous part of, probably you will lose the marks. So once again I wish all the best to the entire team, community. Go for the sincere efforts. If you are not understood, we are okay with that, but do not copy paste, do not take it from one team to another team, because this is the first time which you are going to experience it. Manufacturing is the everyday business which is required for so many people which have been dependent on it. If you design it properly, that's the way the entire community who sees and get the benefit of multiple vehicles which are available in the market is most important and ethical way to go for right learnings about it. That's all from my side. All the best.
Okay.
Ravi?
All the best, students. I think we can conclude the session.
Yes, sir, we'll conclude it.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best.